Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the business update call of Gabriel India Limited. This conference call may contain forward-looking statements about the company which are based on the beliefs, opinions and expectation of the company as on date of this call. These statements are not the guarantees of future performance and involve risk and uncertainties that are difficult to predict. Also, please note that since we have recently ended the quarter, the company shall discuss any questions related to quarter at the time of results declaration. Request the participants to limit their questions only related to technical collaboration and alliance with In-Alpha Roof Systems for manufacturing sunroof for the India automotive market. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star, then 0 on your touch-tone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Manoj Kolatkar, Managing Director from Gabriel India Limited. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody, and warm welcome to this special investor call that we have arranged. So, firstly, I'm extremely happy to share that Gabriel India has taken its first step towards diversification into a product beyond the core, which is the suspension systems. As you all know, we have a leadership position in the suspension systems, supplying and catering to all segments, right from two-wheelers, three-wheelers to passenger cars, commercial vehicles, and railways. And we have, been at some acquisition opportunities, as I had mentioned in the previous calls as well. We had looked at a couple of them in the past. However, they did not, they were not up to the mark, so they did not fructify. And we also, in the meanwhile, were identifying products which could be, of interest. And of course, the focus was, if the product is agnostic to the powertrain technology, which is, IC engine or electric vehicles, and also it's a high technology product. So, obviously, this was one product that we identified, which is a sunroof, very high-tech, aesthetic, high customer perception value product. So I'm very, very happy to share that we have found a great partner in In-Alpha of Netherlands. They are the world's number 2 in this sunroof systems. And I'm sure you must have read all the press releases. We had a press conference yesterday. We had the formal approval from the board and all the regulatory approvals. So that's very briefly to introduce about today's call. And yes, as always, we are keen to listen to you and get your feedback and your suggestions and your comments on this major, as you say, new chapter in Gabriel's future. So thank you, and over to you. Can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I said over to the questions now.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touch-tone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Our first question comes from the line of Akash Pawar from Sahasrar Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon. Thanks for taking my question. I just had a few questions. First one being, if you could help us understand, in general, what is the cost of sunroof per car? I know it may vary from car to car, but on a blended basis, if you could give us a sense on that. Second one being, who are our major competitors in this segment? And third one, what is the opportunity side, total addressable market for us? Thank you.
Akash, sorry, your voice was a little unclear, but could you repeat the last question? I got the first two. The third question?
Third one was, what's the opportunity size for us? to this segment?
Growth. You're talking about growth opportunity?
Yeah, addressable market, total addressable market for us.
Okay. All right. So, so just to start with your first question, which is, of course, the cost per car. As I said, we are just getting onto this new business. So obviously, we are unable to share or divulge any details of the cost per product, but suffice to say that it's a very high value product in a car. You should understand that the product is a very highly aesthetic product. It actually is a part of the car. It's the sunroof. So actually, it is otherwise, if it was in the body, it would have been made by the OEM themselves. This is a part of the car which is being manufactured by a supplier. So it's a high value product, obviously. The second question was on competitors. So here, I'll start with a maybe global perspective. That there are of course quite a few players. I would say mainly 5 or 6 key players. The world's number one is a German company called Webasto, and number 2 is Inalfa Roof Systems, with whom Gabriel has tied up. So in India, there is only one player currently, which is Webasto, which I just mentioned, who have already set up through a 100% subsidiary in Pune. They have a plant in Pune, and they have also announced a plant in Chennai. So this is what is the competition currently in India. There are plans of maybe another player coming in, but I'm not entirely sure about that. And third question was growth opportunities. So this product goes into the sunroof, and mainly the take rate, as they call, is very high in the SUV segment. And as you know, the SUV segment is now growing at a very rapid pace. In fact, the highest growth in the passenger car growth story over the last couple of years has been in the SUV segment. And SUVs now form over 50% of the passenger car market in terms of sales. And in SUVs, the percentage of the sunroofs is very high. In fact, in some models it is as high as 70%. In some other models it is 50%. So I would say it is safe to state that in SUVs it is about 40% of penetration of sunroofs, or 40% of the SUVs made will have a sunroof in India. And the sunroofs are also there on the sedan and the hatchback. Now even a small hatchback like the Hyundai i20 also has a sunroof. So it is now starting at that level, but there is a smaller sunroof. However, the SUVs have typically what we call the panoramic sunroof, which is a high value, a higher content per car. I hope I've answered all 3 questions, Akash.
Yeah, that was helpful. Just one question from my side. Like, at present, what's the cost of sunroof as a percentage of total vehicle costs, like if we say in SUV segment?
Difficult to state that, Akash. I mean, either I give you a percentage or, but I can tell you it's definitely a category item.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you wish to ask a question, please press star and 1. Our next question comes from the line of Viraj from Simple. Please go ahead.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, please go on.
Yeah, just a couple of questions. First is, if you can just briefly talk a little bit more in terms of the JV partner, who are the major customers and what are the major markets, they have traditionally operated into. And when it says in India, did they have any sales which can eventually, so in terms of scale up from the India JV now, will can that happen at a much faster pace? So that is part one. And second, if you can talk a little bit more in terms of the unit economics for the product. So typically, either say globally or in India, what is the typical margins ROC in this business, which one can look at on a steady state basis?
Unfortunately, Viraj, we are having some difficulty with hearing the sound quality. So it was both in the earlier question as well as this. So just give me a moment. It's a handset. Should we take on mobile? Yeah. Viraj, if you don't mind, we are having serious challenges, understanding the voice because it's more of a handset issue. I think the way we are in Delhi, so we will. I think, Jigar, we'll have to reroute the call to mobile. We'll just share with you Rishi's number, and I think we'll take Viraj's call on that. Okay.
Sure, I'll just wait. Yeah.
Yeah. Please kindly wait.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the management back online. Viraj, you can proceed with your question.
Yeah, right. So just few questions. First is if you can just talk a brief, in a little more detail, one on the JV partner and on the product itself. So, globally in the press release you said that, they have a close to 25% share, but, what is their strengths and generally in this particular product, what it seems that there are just 5 or 6 major players globally. So what are the barriers to entry? I mean, how does one really differentiate one from the other? And in that sense, what does a JV partner bring to the table? So that is one. And second is, if you can talk a little bit more in detail on the unit economics for the product. So typically on a steady state basis, what is the kind of margin or returns this business, generally does? So these are 2 questions to start with.
Okay, yeah, Viraj, thank you. And thanks for, waiting for us back on the call. My voice is clear. Yeah, is my voice clear?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Viraj, so first on the Inalfa side, as I said, they are the number 2 player with almost 25% market share. They started this journey in 1940s. And they have, from there on, they have been supplying to absolutely the who's who of the automotive industry in UK, across the continents. So their key customers, just to name a few, in Europe, they are supplying to, the Jaguar Land Rover, the Rolls-Royce, the Bentleys, even in the super luxury segment. They are supplying to Scania, Saab, Volvo, Mercedes, Audi, BMW, Opel, Porsche. So, these are the kind of brands. So they're all absolutely marquee labels. And in Asian side, they're supplying to Hyundai, Kia, Samsung, Mitsubishi, Renault, Nissan, Honda, Nissan I already mentioned. These are customers. On the US side, General Motors, Ford, of course, in addition to the global players like I mentioned of Mercedes, Audi, BMW, etc. So their customer spread is really absolutely top class. That is on the customer profile. And the strengths of Inalfa is, of course, because of these customer relationships, they understand the product very well. And like I mentioned, this is a skin panel. I mean, it's part of the body and styling of the car. So it is highly, highly valued and very close to the perception of a quality of a car of the OEM. Hence, the demands of the customer are very high. Mainly the demands are in terms of, one is aesthetics. Second is, there should be no noise. Third is there should be no dust and water entry inside, even if there is a sunroof, even if it slides and opens, and then it has to keep doing that function repeatably over the life of the car. So it is a very intricate, very high technology, high quality product. So which leads us to the second question, which is, the unit economics. It was asked by Akash also. So that's why I said the value of the product is quite high. It is definitely far more than our suspension system. Several times our suspension system that we supply for a car. In terms of, we will, in terms of the steady state operations, we are looking at, margins which are, EBITDA margins definitely in, decent double digits. So that is what we are looking at. So it is definitely a much higher product value as well as margin product compared to our traditional suspension. Mainly because, as I said, it's a high value product in terms of the customers, taking order.
Okay, just two more questions and I will come back in queue. One is, you in the press release also, the interview which we gave to the press, we talked about an aspiration of 1,000 crore sales, by 2030, and us also looking to spend, 170 crores over next 3 years. So, in terms of the current market structure, say for sunroof in India, except for the largest player who has their own facility, is bulk of the market largely catered to by imports? And in that sense, when we look to commission our own facility, say Q1 of CY24, would the scale up be much faster because there will be a import substitution happening? Is that the right way to think about it?
Yes, absolutely, Viraj. You're right on the spot. It will be a rapid ramp up. So we are, of course, our first order is from Hyundai. And Inalfa Korea is supplying to Hyundai already. So we are going to get all the support from Inalfa Korea. In fact, there'll be expats also in our sitting along with us in our new factory site in Chennai. So we already, located the site and the ramp up is going to be pretty fast. Our delivery date is also decided based on the localization of Hyundai. It's a high product, so obviously localization is very important. Second, logistically also it's a very big product. So it makes sense to localize it at the earliest. So that's how it is. So it's very much in the line of, as we discussed, the Atmanirbhar and Make in India mission, where we'll be helping OEMs with localization of their very high value key product.
And this last question was, in terms of value addition, what will be the value addition in India? So why I'm asking is, when you say, the sunroof system, the glass, everything, is there the local sources available? Or so in that sense, if you can explain what will be the value addition we would be doing, and when we say double-digit EBITDA margin, that is after constraining the royalty payment to Gabriel India or even to the parent of Gabriel.
Yes, absolutely. It's after everything. I'm talking about EBITDA after everything. Every cost has been considered. That is what it is. And in terms of value addition, or I'll put it the other way. I mean, I can't share the value addition, but I can tell you that the glass which is needed is being localized. We also made a plan, very clear plan for localization already. We have started work on localization. We have identified suppliers. In fact, we are in the midst of negotiation with suppliers. However, this will take some time because there'll be a validation from the customer as well. But localization of the individual parts will be key. That will happen over a phased manner.
Okay, I'll come back in queue. Good luck.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of N. Puranik from Enam Securities. Please go ahead. Mr. Puranik, your line is unmuted. You could state your question.
Yeah. I have a question on what's the arrangement you have with Inalfa in terms of technology and in terms of marketing arrangement? What are the markets that you can focus on in any specific segments of the market?
Mr. Puranik, we have a technology agreement signed with them. Obviously, supply of the technology, developing the product from scratch. They of course bring their global customer base, which is how we are getting the Hyundai and Kia orders. In terms of marketing, we have a mixed arrangement because the Indian OEM relationships, as you know, Gabriel and Anand is very strong. So we will be bringing in the Indian customers. We have already discussed with customers in private, and we have, I can only tell you that there has been a very, very encouraging response with regard to this product and the need of OEMs to localize this product at the earliest, and the need for a good, reputed player like Inalfa and supported by Gabriel to cater to this market.
So if you can give a background to the selection of the partner and more importantly the product, why did you choose this product? Is it that this will give you significant growth advantage, or will it also give you enough and more cross-selling advantage and growing your current businesses? So will there be opportunities that will come by?
Yes, Mr. Pawan, good question. So why we chose this product, as I already told you, we were looking at a high technology, high value product, which is agnostic to the powertrain, because there's so much of change happening. Everybody's unsure, what happens to the EV, what happens to the battery, whether there'll be a hydrogen powered fuel cell, whether there'll be a hybrid, whether it will be a flex fuel with ethanol. So a whole lots of combinations available, and some products will change which are directly dependent on this powertrain. Sunroof, fortunately, is one such product which is absolutely completely insulated from this. And in fact, it lies in the area of blue ocean kind of strategy, because there's only one player, number one. And number two, this is, the Indian buyer is now becoming more and more aspirational. And if you see, this is mainly in the SUV segment, where, as I mentioned, the price elasticity of a customer who is going for SUVs is actually quite high. They are willing to expand and expand a bit in terms of their ticket size to meet their aspiration. They will not compromise. Just to validate this fact, I can tell you, when you can in fact check it out yourself. Probably you may also have done the same. Most of the bookings happen in the highest highest variant, the model. I mean, the fully loaded version sells the most. That is what is a clear trend, particularly in SUVs. Whereas in entry hatchback, it may be different because that is a very cost-driven proposition, right? But this product is in an area where there is very high growth and further huge scope available for high growth as more and more, adoption and penetration of sunroof happen in this segment.
And in terms of market geography, which markets will be focusing on apart from India?
India. We have clearly defined the territory as India. But however, the way, of course, the Indian market is exciting. There's enough and more opportunity which is available in India. It's the highest growth market. We are all seeing that.
Correct.
So I don't see till 2030 that there will be any dearth of demand in India.
And how big is Inalfa by revenue and profit?
Inalfa is about $2 billion. It's about 2 billion euro.
2 billion. And very profitable?
Yes.
15-20% EBIT kind of margin?
It's not a listed company.
Not a listed company.
That could be difficult to share.
And
we are in 15 countries globally. We are very widely present. And in terms of engineering centers as well, there are 5 engineering centers all over the globe. And we have almost some 800 odd patents in the year 21 itself, with almost 5,500 employees globally. And they do manufacture all kinds of sunroofs.
So what other opportunities this agreement provides? Any development contracts, other product development contracts with them apart from marketing it to Indian customers?
So to answer your question, anything which is required to be supplied in the Indian country
is part of this agreement. A customer global, a customer may be Indian. Depending upon the volumes and the economics of it, the decisions will be taken. Indian customers obviously is a good opportunity because the decision making happens largely in India in those cases. In case of global, their relationship will help us get the business with the supplies that will happen to the same customer in India. For example, Hyundai is just one of them.
Excellent. It's going to be a big focus for growth.
Yes,
going forward.
Yes.
Excellent.
In fact, just to run one question correctly is, we currently Hyundai, Kia are not Gabriel customers.
Oh, I see.
So this opens up that customer to us.
Yeah. So enough and more cross-selling opportunity for you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we request you to restrict to 2 questions per participants. Our next question comes from the line of Chetan Chindodia from Alpha Accurate Advisors. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Sir, wanted to understand the capex that we are putting for the plant. So what can we expect from this plant?
And then your voice was cracking, so if you can just... Yes?
Hello. Yes. Sir, just wanted to understand the 180 crores of capex that we're doing initially for the plant. What kind of asset turns can we see from this?
So, look, because it's a new entity, some of these capex are not necessarily machines. So, if we take those, obviously some pre-operative expenses as well. So let's go with a number of 150 odd crores towards sort of productive machines which are going to be used in the production facility. The capacity is around 200,000 units. So as of now, depending upon the customer's per unit rate, we'll be in a position to add in terms of asset turns better once we have the first set of numbers out.
Okay, so the capacity is currently for 2 lakh units.
Yes, that's the first line of assembly.
Okay, got it. Got it, sir. Sir, any aspirations you can share with respect to going ahead? What kind of, even further capex that you are looking to make for the entity? Like, say, like 4-5 years kind of, if you can share what is your outlook in terms of revenue targets for this new venture?
Yeah, so, we, as you must have read in the press release, we have as to hit, 1,000 crores if all goes well by 2030. And for that, we'll have to top it up in the current 170 crores, we'll have to top it up by another 120 crores.
Okay, got it, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Dhiral with Phillip Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Thanks for the opportunity. So what kind of revenue you foresee that will come to P&L during the first year of operation, let's say next year?
So Viral, again, these questions are all going to answer the per unit cost, the per revenue part. But the first year of operation is 2023 is largely going to be setting up the facility. Then we begin sales in 2024. So anywhere between 300 to 400 crores is what we are.
And we are targeting, again, hopefully to break even in the first year itself. First year sales, yes. Sales.
Okay, so when you talked about double-digit margin, so does it mean that, after achieving certain scale, you will try to achieve that, or maybe this will come, from the first year of operation?
The double-digit steady state is from the second year of operations. Yeah.
Okay. And, you also have orders in hand from Hyundai and Kia, right? So have you also started talking to other SUV majors like, M&M or Tata Motor or even Maruti?
Yeah. In fact, Viral, I forgot to mention earlier, we also, when we did when I think it was Mr. Puranik who asked why this product, while this product was, of course, meeting all the criteria, Another thing was, the voice of the customer. So we have been talking to customers regularly over the last couple of years, and evincing our interest to the customers that we are willing to look at some new products in Gabriel. So this one product that came as a suggestion from most of the customers was actually sunroof. So we have been in discussion with them, with all the key OEMs, and I can only say the response from them was very encouraging. We already got, based on yesterday's press release, many of them have actually voted back to me already, stating their best wishes.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Dharmendra Grover from Helios Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Kolhatkar. Can you hear me?
Yes, Dharmendra.
Yeah. Hi. So this is first serious attempt from Gabriel to go beyond ride control. So is it a more strategic thing in nature, and will there be more forays that we can expect like this?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's why we made it clear this is, you rightly said, this is the first big step in our diversification strategy. And Dharmendra, actually, we have been, working at it for some time. There was some targets which we had evaluated, which of course did not come through. However, the good part is this one, which is really, we are all very excited about the product because, as I said repeatedly, because of its real high value. This has come through with, the world's number 2. So it augurs very well. And this is the start of our diversification strategy, and we will certainly be looking at more opportunities for sure.
And in this joint venture, did you go out and seek the JV partner, or did they come and seek you in India?
Well, it was actually a mix of both. And also with, kind support of the OEM.
So it has kind of, so once you heard what the OEMs were saying, they put you on to the JV partner.
Yes, and we were also reaching out to, we had identified sunroof as a category, and we were also reached out to several sunroof makers. And, the customer definitely here, did help us a lot.
Sure. And can you give us any timelines as to what other forays and by when we can hear something about it?
Well, this is the first one, so we need to, of course, get this off the block and digest this. But yeah, I mean, it would not be out of place to say that hopefully within this fiscal itself, we may look at another one.
Okay.
Or at best.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Pratik Panthia from Girik Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hello, sir. Sir, just to understand, so for Inalfa, this will be it will be like, are they already supplying in India, or it will be the first time they will be doing?
They are supplying. Currently, Inalfa Korea supplies to both Hyundai and Kia from Korea.
Okay, so the 7 lakh market size which you expect for 23, it includes the sales which is going to be under the joint venture now?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. What sort of market share are we eyeing over next 3-year period?
The market share, obviously, we are looking at, being in the top 2. Yes, Webasto has the first move advantage here. So it would be difficult for us to tell about, whether we can be number 1. But definitely, as I said, in the top 2, we are aiming for that.
Okay. So you mentioned Webasto has put up 100% subsidiary, and there is one more company of CI Group, CI Goldie, having a plant in Pune. So are they also big and serious competition to us?
CI Goldie also is a supplier of sunroofs, yes, globally. But as I said, in terms of global pecking order, they would be number 4, number 5.
Okay. And that would be the case in India as well, as for your competition.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
In terms of technology, I think Alpha and very honestly, even the leader, which is Webasto, both share a very comprehensive technology basket of products, and spreading across the whole range of sunroofs.